have an article that totally confronts this, renal function can improve, data that stage 4 and 5, there were people that improved. Now, they didn't dig
that they had 13% improved. Now, imagine now when we add all the things that we know, be it herbal medicine, dietary changes, all of those. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Kidney Coach YouTube channel. I am naturopath Fiona Chin, co-founder of the Kidney Disease Solution, the Kidney Mastery course, Kidney Coach, and our supplements Genesis. And I'm joined again today by the lovely, stunning, beautiful, smart, intelligent Jessianna Saville. She is the CEO, lead, and managing director of Kidney Nutritional Institute over there in the US, doing really great things as a renal dietitian and really changing the language and foundations on what's possible with kidney disease, and is highly involved in getting clinical trials off the ground and really doing, just like, I don't know if I always say it, but really just getting this information out there in a way that nephrologists and people can digest the science of it. So thank you for being you and doing all of that. I wanted to talk about the science behind that, what's possible, and all of those good things. So Jess, I'm going to hand it across to you to introduce this topic, and let's plop through it. But you had a great study you wanted to talk about that shows exactly this, that eGFR in fact does improve.
Yeah, so there's a study. I'll just pop it here on my screen and then come off. But if you are a study reader, you can go check this out. So I was looking for some studies that validated that GFR improves, because I see it, and I wish I had published on all the people we see like officially in a journal, but I haven't, and I wanted to just see what was out there. So this study came up. It's from 2013, and it is done. A lot of the researchers are out of France, so this is a French group looking at their French studies. And I loved the title of it. When I read it, I was like, that's so bold. And you shouldn't think that I'd be so excited about it, but the general dogma, the general information that is given to patients, and I'll share a story in a second about that, is that if you have kidney disease, like, just hurry up and wait till you're on dialysis or need a transplant. Like
100%.
like guaranteed, right? Slippery slope. So to have, and that's across the world, right? We work with people and patients and clinicians and physicians all across the world, and that is basically the story. And like all of nephrology worldwide, global nephrology is the story. So to have an article that totally confronts this, renal function can improve at any stage of kidney disease, it really made me pause, and I was like, okay, like, how are they making such a bold claim? And what they did in this study that was really interesting is they had 406 patients, and they were primarily looking at stage 4 and 5, which was really important, because if you look at how like the inner workings of the nephrology world, they're really focused on stage 4 and 5 because there's a lot of reimbursement benefits from improving function here. So I looked at their patients, and without getting into too much of the nitty gritty here, they had 12 patients that they took out because they must have had like some crazy stuff going on with their labs. And they were looking at some therapeutic targets that were achieved. So they're looking at blood pressure, proteinuria, so protein in the urine, which is a predictor of the kind of the speed of progression that you're going to have, and the use of these renin-angiotensin system blockers for blood pressure. Anyways, so what they saw, and at first you're going to say, oh, that's so small, I don't have a chance, but we'll expound on this. So what they saw in this study is that 15% of the patients improved. 332 were considered non-improvers, but they had published data that stage 4 and 5, there were people that improved. Now, they didn't dig in a lot, I felt like, in the patient onto why people improved. They just said that there were people who improved, and the people that improved in their GFR, you also saw that they had, and it's, I don't know, the chicken or the egg is here, but they had fewer CKD related metabolic complications, and they had a lower prevalence of vitamin D deficiency. Like, they picked this one nutrient. They're like, oh, and most people weren't vitamin D deficient. Still important, right? They were trying to find like some dots to connect. And anyway, so that's kind of the basis of this study. And I think it's really important that we see the data that people do improve. And this probably was with standard of care. So even like standard of care, some people can improve. So it's not accurate to say that people aren't going to improve their GFR, because people absolutely can. What may not be true is that, if you really kill your nephrons off, our body doesn't necessarily regenerate them. I think the science is probably, on the horizon there with peptides and such. But there is a point of improvement where maybe you can't improve all the way, but you can improve. And there's things that you can do to set a foundation that allows your body to heal. There's a lot of things that you can do to set a foundation so your body can reduce scarring. And like we see it in the data. So,
Well, I think that's super important, because I think the blanket statement that goes out that once your eGFR starts to decline, that's the trajectory. And as we always say, you're going to end up with dialysis or the transplant. Now, we know with just normal standard of care, be it blood pressure medication, diabetic control, whatever that it was, that they had 13% improved. Now, imagine now when we add all the things that we know, be it herbal medicine, dietary changes, all of those sort of things, what those numbers would actually look like with other interventions that we definitely know are working, because I know you see this. Yeah. So they've not any additional digging in with that stuff. So
yeah, I'd agree. And they also excluded from the study, they excluded folks with PKD, because and this was 2013, right? So it's typically thought, oh, if you have PKD, you're on like a progression, like you're on a progression road, you're going to end up dialysis and transplant unless you're a slow progressor. But now we know that there's probably more that we can do with metabolic health and looking at oxalates. So even for PKD, that story has changed. And I just think there's a lot. So if you're listening to this, you've been told you can't improve your GFR. To me, I always think, if I had kidney disease, and I do not have kidney disease, if I had kidney disease, I would want every choice, every opportunity, every strategy that can put me in that 15% bucket. And I mean, probably more could improve, but like, I don't want to be told that there's no hope. It's really important to hang on to that. There are things you can do, and even you take 5% from doing this strategy, and 5% from this, and 5% from this. All these little things stack up, and you're always moving in a progression towards health.
I couldn't agree with you more. And it was interesting. Like I say, I've just done a testimony with Linda, and she said just that, she would go around and she realized that her transplant team weren't talking to a nephrologist, weren't talking to a cardiovascular cardiologist, weren't talking to her endocrinologist with diabetes. So she carries around the folder and had to inform everybody. And she said, healing for her, yes, she put in the herbs in the Kidney Prime, and she drinks the Nana's tea, changed her diet. She was put on a diabetic diet, realized she needed to marry it with a renal diet. But really for her, it was this whole doing bits and pieces. She had to learn to like herself and love herself more, and feel like she had to do the mental emotional stuff. So, bits of everything, and finding what it is that works for you, or the big things that make a big difference, are so important, because we do know that has an impact. And we know that, the standard of things that are coming out of these studies, these people aren't doing any of these other interventions that we would talk about, which is where we see a huge amount of healing. And to the vitamin D point in that study, it's really interesting, because when I've dug in and when I wrote the mastery course that we've got online, what I found was vitamin D deficiency will predict the outcome of kidney disease fairly accurately, that people with vitamin D deficiency, and I'm going to make up the numbers, but they were like 75 to 80% more likely to end up with kidney disease. And it's due to the relationship between vitamin D and phosphorus, the FGF23 pathway, and clotho. And we know, and they've complicated pathways, so I won't get into them, but clotho, we know, is an early determinant of people getting kidney disease, and it sits on a seesaw with phosphorus. So when your phosphorus levels go up, and that can be from dairy's very high in phosphorus, red meat's very high in phosphorus, those sort of things, that when you get this imbalance in phosphorus, your clotho inversely will go down. And clotho is hugely, it's a peptide and used inside the body. You can take it exogenously as well, but it's hugely protective against kidneys. And Jess and I've talked about this before, that if we had an accurate test for clotho, which we don't, it again will pick up kidney disease 5 to 10 years before it actually manifests inside the kidneys. And that's the vitamin D point in there, is it changes that metabolism with phosphorus. So it doesn't surprise me that vitamin D
Was one of
deficiency.
the markers they pulled out. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
And
absolute sense to me. So if people want to get in contact with you or the team, they can head to kidneynutritionalinstitute.org. I'll put the details below, but you work with people right around the world with the wonders of Zoom and telehealth and all of those great things. And you've got an amazing team with you. So anything else you want to add before we finish here, Jess?
Nope, I think that's it. But just believe in kidney health, not kidney disease, and like work towards that angle.
Yeah, it's perfect. All right. Well, make sure you hit like and subscribe. That way you'll get notified anytime we put up new content. If there's anything you want Jess and I to talk about, plop that in the comments below. We can make sure that we do some content around that. Thanks again for being part of our community. If you want to know more about what we do, head to www.kidneycoach.com. You'll find us on Facebook and Instagram as well. And again, I'll put the details of Jess and Kidney Nutritional Institute down there. They're a great group of people there that can help anybody over in the US or around the world if people want more support. So thanks again for being part of our community, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
That's good. Thank you.